don't know how powerful your voice is. They don't want to hear another legislator. They don't want to hear somebody else that's advocating. Sometimes they just want to hear that personal story.
The only way to stop asbestos-related cancers is to ban it.
About 40,000 Americans die every year of asbestos-caused diseases.
So time doesn't stop with asbestos. So that's like a sick joke. But in the sense of like the work that we do, we have awards, and we don't ever want a second to go by and to pass us without thanking those that make our work possible. So in 2023, we had two amazing individuals come to AFL-CIO where we had our conference. And it was really beautiful. And I think Dr. Frank liked it, and maybe Stephen Markowitz liked it. It was like a great opportunity to be at AFL-CIO. And you were honored, Chris and Martin, there, and we didn't have a dinner and all of that. So tonight we want to recognize two individuals that have stepped up, stepped out, and stepped over. They don't say no, and if Alan was here, he would say, hell yes. And he would say, tie your shoes, and we're not done, and I know you have all of our backs. So I'd like to bring Chris up first. And Chris has been an amazing, he hasn't suffered the consequence of an asbestos-caused disease, thank goodness. But I have to tell you, Chris fell from the heavens. I know he did. Alan sent Chris to me, and he has become part of our family. So congratulations on being recognized with the Alan Reinstein Award in 2023.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Congratulations. And Jay's going to say, move over.
Yep.
Okay.
FPD. All right. If all of you heard me earlier today, you heard I love the digital world. So being here and talking about me is not my favorite. It's probably the least favorite thing I could do. But Linda wants it. She wants me up here. She wants me to talk. And that is something I just adore about her, is that she pushes and challenges us to grow. She challenges us to do things that are outside of our comfort zone because she believes in us. And that is what I think a leader should be, is someone who pours into you, who sees what you can do that you don't even see in yourself. I love working with Linda. She thinks sometimes that I don't.
We just get busy.
We get busy, yeah, but every time I hear something from you, it's life-giving. There's so many things you can do for work products and things that really don't give anything back to you at the end of the day. And everything that you come up with does. Every idea you have, and it excites me. And to the point where my wife knows, like, I'll be pacing outside, and she's like, "Oh, were you talking to Linda?" And I was like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Yeah, she had a new idea." And so I go upstairs to the lab, as I call it, and I'm like, we just start, and we start working, and it's exciting, and it's meaningful, and it's a wonderful legacy that you've already built. And Emily's amazing and awesome, and totally, I love watching you two together. Your dynamic is so cool. You both have similarities, but differences that are very pronounced, and I love it.
I'm right.
Right, yeah. But it is so meaningful to receive an award with Alan's name on it, and I feel like I've gotten to know him through our time working together, and I'm just excited about what's next. I'm excited about what we can try, what we can do. I'm excited to keep working and to keep pushing through. So I'm greatly honored, and I appreciate this. Thank you.
And we thank you so much. So if anybody's come to our conference before, they'll get this joke. Robert Nolan, you're not in the house. Where are you? Do you remember him? Barry, don't look confused. Remember Robert Nolan? So sorry, what? Are you laughing? Do you not remember him? Nolan. No, industry. Oh my God, I have to do a refresher course to my really smart people. Robert Nolan used to come to our conferences, and we used to make him feel really uncomfortable. You remember Ann, and so does Perry. And he would register, he'd pay his money. I'm like, okay, new fish. And I'd say, hey, Robert, how you doing? Great to have you come to industry. I testified next to him. This conference he didn't register for. And that was sad, but if you look around, you'll understand why he didn't register. Robert and industry think this is over. There are a lot of people that think this is over. And this is the most powerful group yet in 20 years, and the smallest group because I think people don't understand where we're going and where we need to go. So, Martin, get out your pen, because there's some writing for you to do, so please come forward. And I say that with a smile. Marty is a gifted intellectual. Pop up, but don't fall, because then Pat has to get you, and it's like really messy. Oh. Marty is a gifted intellectual that understands law and social science. That's my take. And no, it's true. And he looks at asbestos from a personal perspective, but also from a professional perspective. And he writes so many blogs. I can't even read all your blogs, so I'm sorry. But he writes and writes and writes, and he's really good. He's going for one PhD, and then he has this other new creds, and you got a lot of letters. It's good. But you have to get behind Christine Oliver, because she has the most. But the reality is, Martin uses his brains. From his tragedy, he's using his intellect. And I am really impressed with how you think and what you do. And if you give up, I'm going to come over and give you a noogie. But in the meantime, tonight, I want to say congratulations for what you do. I'm sorry for the pain you've had, but I'm grateful for the path that you're taking. Congratulations.
Speech? Yes. Well, I used to tell my kids, and we got lots of kids, that I was a nerd before it was cool to be a nerd. And my youngest son has told me over and over that it's still not cool to be a nerd. Now, I'd like to tell my Selikoff story, which many in the room probably don't think I would have one, because I never met the gentleman. But I have read a lot of his writings, some of which most people in this room have not read. They were given to me in confidence. And I can tell you he was a consummate scientist. That's what counted for him, is how it was done, had to be done right, etc. Compare that to what you saw at Johns Manville, where if you've read an article by Jessica Van Hoosen, who went to both the Jeffries mine and Saranac, is that to check out how bad the asbestos exposure was, they had their in-house counsel go to Jeffries mine, pick up lungs from dead workers, run the lungs in their trunk down to Saranac labs, and actually have them tested for asbestos-related bodies. And Jessica found this out a couple years ago when she was doing research at Saranac. She's a professor now up in Canada. And that's the difference you see. The asbestos industry did everything it could, whether it was Turner and Newell, whether it was Cape, whether it was John Mansville, whether it was whoever. They had their international meetings. I've seen the notes of the international meetings, and it was how to protect themselves versus the science on the other side. And it's a noticeable difference. So I very much appreciate this award. It means a whole lot to me. It means a whole lot to my family. Thank you very much. And this has been a wonderful meeting. Thank you.